All right, good afternoon, Math 7 students. So we have conversions, so fractions to decimals to percents conversions. Yesterday we talked about fraction to a decimal, and we talked about our calculator, right? Our calculator is our friend in this, and I'm going to pull up our calculator. So we're going to clear this out. When we're going from a fraction to a decimal, all you're doing is this. You can put in any fraction. So let's say 2/3. We arrow down. We put in a 3. We press over. We can press enter, but we get 2/3 again. You hit this double arrow key, and you get 0.67. But remember, the calculator will eventually round it because it runs out of spaces. It's actually 0.6 repeating, and if you remember correctly, 0.6 repeating is written like this. Okay, so just a quick reminder, quick review of how we're using the calculator moving forward. So today's lesson is going to be this. Let me clear this out. Let's go back to our notes, and it's going from a decimal to a fraction. This is going to be all calculator. So if we go from a decimal to a fraction, we're going to be using our calculator here in a second. So our calculator, you're going to find, is very important. Very, very important. I got my freehand highlighter. And then this is going to be all calculator. So I'm going to put a little star here. And we'll draw this is going to be all calculator. And a lot of this is going to be the use of your calculator and knowing your calculator. So let's go to our calculator. How do we change a decimal to a fraction? So that can be difficult sometimes, but not so much. So let's go back to our calculator. Let's use the fraction 2/3 again. So we're going to go n over d. We put in 2, scroll down, put 3. You know, we talked about this before. This turns into 0.67, right? So what if I put in 0.6, right? 0.6, and I wanted the fraction. There's a couple things I can do. I can hit the double arrow key. If I hit the double arrow key and enter, I'll get 3/5. Okay, let's do that again. There's another way. If I put in 0.6 and I go second fraction of decimal right here above table, it'll give me the same thing, 3/5. So that is basically our lesson for today. If you go through and you go from fraction to decimal or decimal to fraction, because we're going actually from decimal to fraction, you will get a fraction if you use your calculator. There's the old school way, but I'm not going to show you because as we move forward, the old school way is kind of going to slow you down, and nobody's going to do paper pencil. So let's go back to our notes. Okay, so we talked about decimal to fraction. We'll end up talking about decimal to percent, percent to decimal, percent to fraction, and then fraction to percent. But let's scroll down, okay, because we're going to start filling in our table. So we want to go from decimal to fraction. So we're only going to look at number 2 for now, right? And if we use our calculator, so we got to put in 0.73. So if I put in 0.73 and I hit my double arrow key, I get 73 over 100. Okay, 73 over 100, that's simplified. So we're going to go back to our notes, and our fraction is 73 over 100. Okay? So we have a lot of these. We have number 4. We're going to jump to number 4. We'll go back to our calculator. That's our wrong calculator. And 1.48 was our decimal. We hit our double arrow key. We press enter, we get 37 over 25. It should be that way. The numerator should be larger than the denominator because this is an improper fraction. So 37 over 25 is what we get. So we write 37 over 25. Let's go down to number 7. We're going to jump down to number 7 because that's where we have our decimal column. So we got 0.125. So let's go back to our calculator. 0.125, and we'll try this the other way. 0.125. We can hit second fraction of decimal, and it should give us our fraction, which is 1/8. So that's what we're going to put in 1/8. We'll put in 1/8 right here, and I got to make sure that I have my pen on. So 1/8. Let's scroll down to our second set of notes with the table. It looks like we have 0.9. So this is the last page, number 4. Go back to our calculator at 0.9. So we're going to put in 0.9, and we'll just use the double arrow key here. So hit your double arrow, 9/10. So that doesn't reduce any further. So it's just 9/10 right here. So we're going to put in 9/10 on number 4. And then we have 2.6 on number 7. So 2.6 on number 7. Ooh, put in the wrong one again. So what did I say for that? I already lost my train of thought. 2.6. So that's going to be, it could be a mixed number. So I'm going to show you that here in a second. So 2.6, we're going to put in 2.6. We want to turn it to a fraction. That's awesome. We can hit the double arrow key. We got 13/5. But what if we wanted to change it to a mixed number? So we could hit second, and then this times 10 to the n. If we hit that, we'll get our mixed number. So it can either be 13/5 or 2 3/5. Kind of a cool calculator trick. So we'll put 13/5 right where our notes is. So we got 13/5 here. So just an improper fraction. And do we have any more examples to do? We do not. So that's our lesson for today. So going from decimal to a fraction, pretty easy, and it's all calculator. Okay, so calculators are going to be very important. We're going to talk more about these as we go. So have fun viewing this. If you have questions for me, we'll talk about them in class on Tuesday. Have a great day.